acoustic guitar player.
You want 4 or just 3? You going to sit here? Okay.
Come on,
15
Randy.
seconds. There you go.
Can you plug me in, Dan? Never mind. All right. And we're live.
Good evening. Welcome to the last of the good old boys with Blaine Young here live at 401 North Market, better known as Studio 401.
Yeah.
And Randy G, he's in the house. Billy, he's in the house.
Welcome, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Sorry we couldn't afford a name for you on the screen, but that's Billy Boy, Spike, Rudder, Tripod, whatever you want.
There was too many names that we weren't sure what to put on there.
He's got a lot of names.
We don't have enough room.
So this is episode number 4 of The Last of the Good Old Boys with Blaine Young, Billy, and Randy. And our guest tonight is, let me get this correct, the City Councilman, Derek Shackleford. What's up, Shack?
What's happening? Good to be with y'all tonight.
So this is official, right? So there's Alderman's gone.
Alderman is gone.
So you're the first, number 1.
Well, we were council members last term.
But I mean, it's the first election as a council cycle. You did switch the name last year, right?
In January.
Yep. So
technically, until you're officially elected, it's not real.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I get what you're saying. It felt real. That's right. You felt every ounce of it.
Very real.
So I've thought about this. I've served 2 offices now that don't exist anymore, county commissioner and alderman.
That's right. That's county council and city council now.
Yeah, they're all gone. So, Derek, welcome to the Last of Good Old Boys with Blaine Young. Last week we had episode 3 with the sheriff. Before that, episode 2 with County Councilman Mason Carter. And actually, one of your Walkersville alumni will be joining us next week, Jason Keckler, who served our city at the police force, I believe state parole board, and is running for delegate in District 4. So, good. What are you going to say?
I was just say, wait a minute. I just thought about something. Walkersville alumni, we've had 3 of the 4 shows have been Walkersville alumni.
That's
Mason
right.
Carter.
Mason did go to Walkersville, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did go to Walkersville, didn't he?
Yep.
Well, Walkersville's putting out some talent.
Well, that's we got to head back.
Where'd it all come from?
Say it again, Randy.
Hey, Shaq, did you start that? You were the first?
No. I wish I could take credit for that.
Yeah.
But Shaq's Frederick, man. I played baseball with Shaq. He's in Frederick.
I'm telling our age now.
He played a little bit of everything. So what we like to do is we like to turn back the clock for our viewers and listeners to let you know. This is new to me. From what I understand, we're on YouTube, Facebook. Where else, Randy?
We are on a few Facebook pages, actually. A couple YouTube channels.
Somebody said Spotify, too. Is that true?
It goes out. The audio will go out on all the Spotify, Apple, all the stuff.
And if somebody wants to communicate with Shaq, they can do so through what? The chat box, right?
Yeah. So we can the comments So the comments or you can hit us up on live chat here as well. So
absolutely. So we're gonna turn back the clock, take a stroll down memory lane, and where did it all start for you, Derek? Was it in Walkersville?
I'm a Fredricktonian.
I understand that.
My mother's was born here.
Yep.
And so my family roots are here through her. So that's where it all started. We moved. My father was in the military. They met he was stationed at Fort Detrick. They met, and of course I did some traveling, but he retired because they wanted us to go to Okinawa, and he did not want to take us. My other 2 older brothers. My brother actually was born in Italy.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
So you were everywhere.
Well, I wasn't everywhere. They were everywhere.
Okay.
I was, of course, being the youngest. I didn't travel as much as they did. They traveled. They was Korea, Italy, Germany. I was just in Georgia.
Okay.
So you're the youngest of 3.
Youngest of 3.
Excellent.
And you went to Walkersville High School.
Went to Walkersville. We came back. We moved to Walkersville. Had a house built, and that's where I matriculated my education.
All right. And then not only get your education, but you played some sports while you were there, too,
I was
didn't you?
a basketball and baseball player at Walkersville.
Yeah. And, let's talk a little bit about basketball because obviously Coach Dave Miller, one of the better coaches in the history of Frederick County, just passed. I'm sure you were in attendance, and that was a big deal. I mean, the two coaches I really remember for Walkersville is Coach Bill Talley and Coach Dave Miller.
Yeah, Coach Miller was a big influence on my life. I mentioned about Walkersville. I met Coach Miller at the age of 7. Actually, me and Brian became good friends, more like family. And then I met Coach through Brian, and then Coach coached me. I was around Brian because Coach coached at Walkersville, so I got a chance to, I guess, be up close and personal. As I got older, our relationship, of course, just strengthened. Coach, like a second father to me, so really hit me hard in terms of his passing because of what he meant so much, how much he meant to me.
And I read the article in the Frederick News Post about you talked about his constant love and constant encouragement.
Yeah, particularly, this, coaches are a big influence because we spend so much amount of time with them, and the things that they say to us, the things that they share with us, the impact, the influence they have on our life, and so Coach had that enormous impact, and particularly for me knowing him the length of time that I did, because before I got a chance to play for him, I seen him. I went to practice. I was around him in terms of just around Brian. So I got a chance to be around him
personally.
Yeah, I got a chance to be around Coach. 10, 8, 9 years before he got a chance to play.
You knew him. So. You knew him beyond the whistle.
I knew him beyond the whistle.
So he was like family. I mean, it's 7 years old. Picking you up at 7 years old. That's a good,
because me and Brian became really good friends, and I was over their house a lot of times. The joke was that my parents used to say that we gonna give your birth certificates to the Millers because you're over there so much.
Yeah.
So as a young man, 7 years old, what's the thing that made you kind of gravitate to him and have a lifelong friendship with him?
Well, probably was Brian. Me and Brian, of course, being the same age, we were friends. We became friends in elementary school, and then I just was over their house, and me and Brian just around each other so much that I got a chance to know Coach. I was in the basketball, of course. Coach was coach basketball. Brian was in the basketball, so we was around each other all the time, and just going to practices, going to games, just being around each other, being around the game so much. That's kind of how. Our relationship developed. Now, of course, when I got older and Brian got older, we didn't hang around each other as much, but me and Coach still kind of maintained our relationship in terms of keeping in touch and going to dinner, playing golf. He was, his later years, of course, he was at the beach. I used to go to the beach house and stay down there. And so our relationship drastically changed, and it probably changed when my father passed away. Mm-hmm. When my father passed away, I called Coach that night. I remember it. I called Coach that night, and probably before I could hang the phone up, Coach was at my house.
Wow.
And that of course, our relationship, of course, was already strong, but I think after that, our relationship became even stronger.
Yeah, that's a good friend, man.
Yeah.
So when you played baseball, you won a state championship with Coach Miller.
Yes.
And then you played baseball. Was that under Paul Merrill?
Paul Merrill was my baseball coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's. I mean, from the outside looking in, that's two different coaching styles. Or am I wrong?
I played for Coach Merrill at the age of 13.
Wow.
So Coach Merrill was my when I played Babe Ruth. Now with Coach Merrill, we went to the Babe Ruth World Series 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. We went to Newark, Ohio at 13, Jamestown, New York at 14, and back to Newark, Ohio at 15. Coach
Big
Merrill,
deal.
At the age of 13, coached baseball like college players.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It was a completely different ball game and
you played with
coaching styles.
Jeremy, was it Jeremy Walkersville?
Jeremy Long?
I played with Jeremy at Walkersville.
Well, yeah, and then Rukert probably.
Matt Rooker, we went to Walkersville too.
Yeah, so.
We all played together. We all played we lost in the state finals our senior year, and Jeremy was a junior. We lost 1-0.
Wow, that's good D.
Our pitcher threw a one hitter. The person got one hit. They bunted him to second. They got a ground ball to third. No, ground ball to third.
You remember?
And it was a wild pitch.
Oh, yeah, you do remember those types of games.
We lose 1-0 in the state championship. Yeah, you remember everything that happened.
You remember how it smelled that day, right?
Oh wow!
So we're gonna move out of high school, but before who was the best high school player you played against?
The best high school player.
Yeah, if you can do more than one. I don't want to put you at one.
High school player.
High school. You're at Walkersville High School.
Sam Cassell.
Okay.
Sam Cassell is probably the best high school player I played against.
All right. Now let's put it in the boundaries of Frederick County. Who's the best Frederick County player that you say when you'd go against him? You say, "Man, we get in the game." Now, of course, I know y'all were in the MVAL.
Now you know this.
But we can put it out there.
No,
Summer
but
League,
Shaq, you
street
played
ball.
for Frederick. You played for Frederick.
No, he played for Walker.
Oh, yeah, I thought you played Little League for Frederick.
Yeah, I did. Baseball did.
Yeah, I was going because I
Little
played against you in Little League.
Yeah, baseball
Frederick.
played.
All right, part of this show, Randy's, we done left middle school.
Okay,
we
my
into
bad.
high school now, okay? I'm talking about high school.
Randy's trying to go back. Yeah, go back.
He said, wait a minute.
Now, look, Randy didn't tell you we used to beat him in Little League. I used to beat him in Little League.
Shaq was good, man. I remember, dude. You
What
guys,
position did you play in baseball?
Shortstop.
yeah.
Shortstop.
To that question, Blaine, probably the best high school player I played against in Frederick County, you would know this, Tank Naylor.
Yeah,
Tank was big, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you all coached there at FCC together for a little while. I remember you on the cover of the Frederick News Post
Yes.
they used to put all the various top
very-
players.
Tank Naylor. Tank
Rest
Naylor
in
was-
peace,
Yeah.
Tank. Baseball, Frederick County. Who's best player before we move on?
Ooh,
High school,
high school.
Frederick County.
John Fowler.
Fowler was big, dude.
Good name. Good name. All right, so you leave high school, you head to George Mason University.
No, actually,
What?
my career is detoured. I went to UMBC my first.
I
out of high school.
forgot about that.
Did you really?
Yes.
I forgot about
I went
that.
to UMBC. I played. Jeff Bizdelic recruited me. He he recruited me. So one of the reasons why I went to UMBC was because of Coach Bizdelic. And before I even entered into UMBC, Coach Bizdelic took a job with the Bullets at the time. Western State became his number one.
Can't call them Bullets anymore. That's not politically correct. They're the Wizards. They're the Wizards.
They were the Washington Bullets at the time.
That's right.
And so
Anytime they
know.
want championships.
I mean, you got to call them what they were. I still say Redskins when I talk about the Super Bowls. So
well, that's the last time y'all won something.
Facts.
So I went, and so I played, but
You went to UMBC. You had a coach
Coach
change.
Bizdelic left. Earl Hawkins was the coach, and actually I got hurt.
Okay.
I had broken a bone in my hip in the state championship game, actually. And you would understand this. Randolph Childress, actually, I played against him.
Yep.
Played in the NBA, and of course, he's the all-time leading scorer at Wake Forest University.
Yeah.
Wow.
I broke a bone in my hip, and so, being an athlete, one of the things I did was they told me to be on crutches for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I bet it lasted a
12
week.
days.
Probably, I was out playing by the end of the week.
Wow.
And so
Broken hip.
And so, the broken bone off my hip. And so when I got to UMBC, one of the things that happened was we were just doing this simple drill, and a player just happened to just push on me, and I
That was
like,
enough.
That didn't feel right. They took the X-ray and found out the bone did not grow back right because I kept so much pressure on it. So I redshirted that year.
Yeah.
And of course, that was the time that my opportunity to get out as well. So I came back to FCC because
That's right.
I didn't want to stay there because the coaching changed. So it was my opportunity to leave there.
Came back to
Came
FCC.
back to FCC.
2 years. Jim Weddle.
Jim Weddle, run the system. No, we're not run the system.
Run a gun.
We ran that Paul Westhead system.
Yep.
Get a shot up in 6 seconds. And you would know this. We didn't have a problem because we also had Chris Riles on our team.
Ooh,
there was a
he's
shot
right
he
across
did
the
not
street.
Yeah.
He's across the street.
Yeah.
He
We
was
know this.
he was Stephon Curry before Stephon Curry even knew who he was.
There was a shot that Chris did not like.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of
He
us on
wasn't
that
afraid
team
to
that
shoot,
we
huh?
knew that
No, he wouldn't.
if you knew you passed, you weren't getting it back.
Yeah. Whoever
Rodney Dennis, Craig Collins,
Yeah.
there was a lot.
whoever got it, Billy, whoever got it first, just go for the rebound. Just go for the rebound because it was not. If somebody passed, it was by accident.
Yeah.
I remember, and Blaine might remember this. I'm trying to think. Blaine was you were on that team. Remember, we went to Allegheny, and Allegheny was, of course, one of the top junior college teams in the country, programs in the country, and they
Bob
had
Lewis, was that the coach? Is that
Bob
his name?
Kirk.
Bob Kirk.
And they had all these top Division I players, and so we get there, we play them, and we scrimmage them, and we play them, and we run them literally out the gym because they can't keep up.
Wow.
Well, a couple weeks later, we go back to scrimmage them. and they had changed everything. But we went up there the first time. We ran them out the gym because they could not keep up.
Yeah.
Never saw that before.
They never seen that before. But the next time we went up there,
They saw it.
So do you remember this one? Do you remember we get it? We first of all, we getting them. Today's completely different. We getting them 2 old raggedy vans.
Oh, yeah.
And go to New York.
Oh, God.
You remember that trip?
Yes, I sure do.
We're going to play the Fashion Institute of Technology,
That's right.
FIT.
That's right. FIT.
We go there, and Jim Weddle takes us on a 4 or 5 hour tour of New York before the game. We're walking up, down steps
Jeez.
and everything. We go there, and they have one of them rubber. Remember the rubber floors?
Rubber floors.
Where it was like twice as worse once you got going. And I'll never forget, like at halftime or at the end of the game, he's all upset. What happened? Rodney Dennis goes, well, maybe if you didn't drag us all around New York for the whole day. So, yeah, they were some good times.
Yeah.
Rob Carpenter was our assistant coach.
Rob Carpenter was our assistant coach. That's right.
Yep.
This is going way back now,
Yep.
isn't it?
And then out of there, that's when you head to
George Mason.
George Mason.
George Mason for 2 years.
All right. So you wrap up, you're playing college ball. And obviously, why baseball over, why basketball over baseball out of curiosity? Because you had some interest in baseball too, right?
Yeah, believe it or not, when I went to UMBC, they wanted me to play baseball, but of course, trying to play a couple of sports. Now, when I got to George Mason, believe it or not, I did practice with the baseball team. One of the reasons why I didn't play baseball was because it was too cold.
Okay.
So during I would play basketball. Of course, we would hit indoors, we'd practice indoors, and then one of the things they started saying was, "Okay, now we gotta go outside." And that was
it.
Like
That was it.
That was
February or
it.
something, right? Early.
Randy,
Well,
it's one of
I
those
was-
defining moments. Career end.
I was playing basketball, so our season was generally over middle of March, but it was still cold.
Right.
It's still snow on the ground, so I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And so my senior year, my senior year, coach was like, "Yeah, you can hit with us, but I know you ain't playing." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
All right. Well,
That's a good option.
If you're just tuning in, you're tuning in to the last of Good Old Boys with Blaine Young, Billy Shreve joining me, Randy Grubbs. This is episode 4. We're interviewing city councilman Derek Shackleford. Everything's councilman now, the county and the city. But what we want to do is we want to turn it back the clock with everybody we interview, let you a little bit know where they came from, where they went to school, their interests, all that good stuff. So right now, Shaq's getting out of George Mason University. Then what? Where'd you head? Back to Frederick or what?
I came back to Frederick. Yeah, I sure did. I came back to Frederick. I played. There was a league called the CBA at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
But then the ABA course here was saying, but the CBA was the league at it's kind of the developmental league.
The CBA, yeah.
Yeah,
CBA was around till Isaiah Thomas showed up.
Absolutely. And then of course the ABA locally here was the Frederick Flyers.
That's correct. Coached by Jim Weddle.
Coached by Jim Weddle. Absolutely right. It was funny because he tried to run that system. That system wasn't working at that level.
Chad Stahl's still mad he didn't make that team. He's still hot. He's mad he didn't make that team, and he's mad that he couldn't shoot a 3-pointer for Tom
Guess
Dixon.
who? Guess who did play a couple of games? Louis Thomas.
Oh, really?
Louis Thomas.
Rest in peace.
Louis actually. I'm talking about how good my memory is. Louis actually had a game winner.
Wow.
The ball came around to him at about 40 feet. He let it go, and it went in. We won by 1.
Big Lou.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Big Lou and Tank.
Yeah.
So but career-wise, what were you looking in once you got out of George Mason to get into?
My whole thing was about like youth development.
Okay.
I was really involved with young people in politics, to some degree. I'm not necessarily running for office, but just working on campaigns and things like that. I majored in political science at George Mason, so I was really enamored with policy. Policy.
But did you work for the city for a while also?
Worked for the city, I sure did. You were alderman at that time.
Okay.
Yes, I sure did.
It was the youth. What was the name?
Youth Services. Youth Services. That was from 97 to 2001.
Absolutely. And then from there,
after 2001,
just kind of give some people background in your history, kind of like the things.
2001. I started teaching.
Oh, yeah.
I was teaching because I was coach. Well, let me see, 2001. Yeah, because I was coach that started Frederick High.
You were head coach at Frederick High for a while.
I started teaching.
Yeah.
I started teaching. I was teaching at Frederick High for a minute, for a stretch, and then I coached, and then I got the call to ministry.
Yes, that's where I want to segue.
Yeah, I got the call to ministry.
All right, talk about
What
that.
happened there?
Here's the thing. I always knew I was going to be a minister. I just thought,
Really?
Yeah, I knew when I was younger.
Wow.
When I was young, I thought that, that I wanted to make money. I'm like, no ministers can't make money like that. Can't handle fun.
Yeah.
So to speak. And then I said, once I get all that out the way, once I'm retired,
Okay.
then I'll do it.
All right.
So obviously I'm going to retire, but that's not the way it happened. It's kind of like in the word, God kind of fast tracked me when I was saying no.
So when did that all start?
said,
Because
"Come
you
on,
went
come
back
on,
to
let's
school,
go."
right?
Yeah, I went to seminary. I started seminary in 2001. 2002. 2002 I started seminary.
So when did you so at one point I guess before you get your own church you work with a church, correct? 'Cause
Yeah.
you have your own church now,
I have
right?
my own church now. I pastor my own church now.
Okay.
Correct.
And so how long have you been doing that? And that is actually what you do for a living,
That's
correct?
what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Where's your church at, Shaq?
I'm currently serving in West Virginia, by golly, West Virginia, right down the road from Shepherd, about a mile.
Okay.
Called Asbury.
Nice. It's a beautiful town over there.
Yes, it is. Shepherdstown is a very historic.
Now, how'd you
town.
find that? I mean, is there a job application? Do they put the word out?
I'm United Methodist, and we are appointed. So
Okay.
they sent you. They send
Okay.
you. Now I've been a part of a call system where they call their pastor, where the specific church calls their pastor. But United Methodist is an itinerant system, which means the bishop appoints you.
Okay. And that's what you do for a living.
That's what I do for a living.
Okay. On top of being a third term council member.
Yes.
Alderman for 80% of it, and now council.
Yes, that's correct.
Because this is your third consecutive term.
Third consecutive term.
You can run for one more term, and that's it, right? On term limits or what?
Yeah, well, officially now, since this starts like kind of this would be my first term. Officially, there's 3 terms, but officially, this is the first term for me.
So
resets the clock.
Yeah, they reset the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, reset the
Who
clock.
started to deal with
But I can tell you this: I'm not doing 3 terms. So don't worry about that.
parishioners or constituents, which is
What's worse?
yeah.
They're the same.
So people know.
They both got expectations.
Yeah, that's
And it was 1973 in November that the first African American was elected in the city of Frederick, a gentleman named Claude DeLauder.
Correct.
Claude was in education.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was elected actually as a Republican, served a second term. In the second term, he was what they would call President Pro Tem.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, Claude decided he wasn't going to run again. Well, he reached out to William O. Lee, better known as Sonny or Bill Lee, and said, you need to step up and take that mantle. He ran.
Mm-hmm.
He won. Second term, Bill Lee was President Pro Tem under then Mayor Paul Gordon. Then he decided, I've had enough. There was a gentleman named William G. Hall who was serving on the Planning Commission. Actually, the most controversial decision of that Planning Commission was sheets on Rosemont. I mean, thousands.
You would think that was the rose fell apart, then wasn't it?
Yeah, and he decided to run. Won first term. Second term, President Pro Temps, 12 years. And then we kind of had a little bit of I don't know if you call it a void or opening. I do remember what Willie Mahone ran, but and some others, but we did not really have representation until yourself and I believe Roger Wilson.
Me and Roger served together in 2017.
Was that your first term?
Our
Frank?
first term.
So Roger Wilson and yourself. Roger Wilson wanted to run for mayor, I believe. That didn't work out. And then obviously, you're in your third term. So, I tell people that because that's all happened. That's all transpired in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. In 73, I was the first African-American and the first lady elected to the board of aldermen at that time. So what does it mean to you to kind of follow in those footsteps and what you try to accomplish in your role with the city? And I know you have a good working relationship and close working relationship with the mayor.
You mentioned those 3 individuals in particular. I didn't get a chance to meet Mr. DeLauder, Claude DeLauder. Now, I did have an opportunity to Mr. Lee, because I actually was part of his funeral service, believe it or not, when he passed. Mr. Lee was very influential in my life from a politics standpoint. Both of you will understand this in terms of the knowledge he shared. He knew so much about the political, the gamesmanship, but policy, kind of the things that he had done, in particular from a leadership aspect. And then, this Blaine, Mr. Hall was very close with both of us. And so and they all were very unique in their personalities.
Yep.
In terms of how they approach, Mr. Hall being very direct, Mr. Lee being more, I don't want to use the word strategic. Both of them were strategic in their own, but their personalities in terms of the way they operated. Mr. Hall was just straightforward.
Yep. Mr. Lee could be mad at you, but still smile at you.
Yeah, Mr. Lee was. Yeah, he was.
Mr. Hall was mad at you. You knew it.
It wasn't.
He would tell you.
He would know.
Tell you.
Wasn't Mr. Lee the principal?
Mr. Lee was a principal.
Yeah, he was my principal.
Yeah. So they
yeah,
different personalities, but both very influential in their approaches, and so both impactful for me in terms of my from the political aspect. Both shared a lot with me. Anytime I had questions, they were more than generous with information and sharing with me. So I recognize from that aspect I don't want to use the word importance, but also the responsibility that I have. Such as you mentioned, that how each of those persons mentored others, how they supported others, how they make sure that others were engaged in the process. And that's the part of, for me, is that I make sure that I'm mentoring others in this process, who may have the opportunity who may feel the urge, the unction to be a part of this. And so that's part of my responsibility to make sure that they are prepared if they want to do so.
Mr. Lee was great at that, mentoring youth, and you have that same background. I mean, yes. I look at the two characters of you and him, and very similar, man.
Yes,
very similar.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think that's a compliment, because
Mr.
Lee is held in high esteem.
Yeah.
So what, how do you feel in terms of when people say, well, you represent, the African Americans, and you're that voice for the African Americans in the city of Frederick? Some people have a problem with that. I don't. And the reason why, let me tell you, is you'll have people advocate for the Golden Mile. So all of a sudden we can advocate for the Golden Mile, but we can't advocate for a race or for women or for a I mean, we have actually started to make segments in the city with these wards, so people can actually advocate for districts and wards. But, how do you feel that engagement? I went through the whole struggle with the Mahone brothers. I mean, I like them. I see them today and we smile, but I mean, they beat the living stuffings out of you. You'd be up there and like, man, is Danny really getting up there?
Willie still comes.
Yeah.
Does he? He's still there.
I won't worry about Willie. Dan was the one I ain't want to get up. Dan would light you up. Willie hits you up with words, and you got to look them up after the meeting.
Willie still comes to the meeting, Billy, and when he comes to the meeting, somehow, some way, my name is always mentioned in any of his comments. He don't have nothing to do with me sometimes, but he's going to mention my name.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, he's going to get it in there. To that question,
do we have equality? That's what I'm trying to get at. Is Bill Hall used to say, all I want is equal playing field. Do you feel that we're in a better place today than we've ever been before?
Ever been before? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, depends on if you ask my mother. She may say no. I mean, she may say things have gotten better. I think they have gotten better. We can see that in some instances. In some instances, it's still a long way to go.
Okay.
But to your question about, I feel there's a responsibility that I have. I don't claim to speak for all African Americans, because we're not monolithic people, which means we don't think alike, sound alike, or believe like, or have the same political ideology. But I do feel a sense of responsibility and understanding that what I say sometimes the notion of it is that I'm speaking for everyone.
Yeah.
What I do sometimes, that actions speak for everyone. That's not always the case, but I am aware of the responsibility that does occur, or that comes with it.
And you as an elected official, and then Guyan kind of is the right-hand man or chief of staff. I don't know what the official title is.
Chief of staff. But Guyan's the chief of staff.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically making sure the day-to-day things are going the way they should with the directors, correct?
Correct. He's got a heavy responsibility as well.
So now we get a little spicy. Is there anything that's not fair game? Because I want to understand. If you don't want to comment on it, you don't. But I'm still. Yeah. Last week we talked to the sheriff, and they're talking about the chief with these texts. My question is, what expression do you think when someone said, "Yeah, we know you sent them texts"?
What's the question? What's the question?
You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I'm still trying to
about the text message.
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like the mayor was kind of upset the way it came across to me in the paper that it was. He wasn't thrilled about that.
I'm sure he wasn't. I mean, to find out. I guess I don't know how the way.
I already know what I read in the paper, by the way, and that doesn't make it true.
Sometimes in the paper only tells part of the story.
Yep.
Sometimes they quote you, they don't quote you, they don't quote all
Correct.
of your.
They chop it up.
It's not 100% accurate.
Yeah, of course we all know that in our experiences. I haven't, believe it or not, I haven't spoken to the mayor about this. So for full disclosure, we have not had the conversation around that. Yeah. I was made aware that there was going to be some text messages that were going to be coming out, and
what was your first thought? Because I mean, obviously, when somebody says there's some text messages, obviously you don't know the context right away. But what was your first thought when you?
Well, it was kind of a backdrop that there was some text messages would come out in regards to a previous case that had happened.
Yep.
So that was around that, and they didn't say it was like necessarily damaging. They just said there was somebody.
No, I didn't have a problem with what he said. I just don't understand why you run and go to Walmart and get a burner.
They just said they may be inappropriate. That's all they said. Mm. And I guess how we deem to be inappropriate, similar to what you said about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess, and the reason why I brought it up because I knew you were going to be on this week, and I don't know, Billy or Randy, if you've seen it, but if you watch the goodbye from the chief of police of the District of Columbia, did you see that?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you see that, Randy?
I didn't see that.
Well, if you could pull it up, she basically did what I thought that the chief of the city of Frederick did. She just didn't she wasn't nervous. She got right up there in a microphone and laid it out.
Yeah.
And was pretty frank about it.
Former people she worked with?
Huh?
People she worked with?
You just have to watch it. She just basically...
You're talking about Pamela Smith?
Yeah.
Yep. Whether you agree with her politics or not, or her policing, when I saw that, I said, that's some passion right there. Yeah. And I love passion.
Yeah, that's kind of like, y'all can take this job.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't play that, can you, Randy?
Let's see. I'm trying to pull it up now.
It's only about a minute or so, man. She goes to the Bible.
Yeah.
Wow.
She lays them out.
Yeah, she was.
So Derek, how do you think, moving forward, we got rid of this chief? He moved on.
We didn't get rid of him. He took a job. He's the new chief of Pittsburgh. That's a big deal.
He decided to go back to his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens now? How do we find a new police chief, and kind of what would you, if you had a wish list, what would kind of be on that list for someone coming to Frederick?
We'll do a national search now. That also a national search. That's not unusual. So let me say that, because that still allows, if there's someone who's
needed
internally. I don't. You know what, Blaine? I don't know.
Okay.
I have to be honest.
I don't know the guy that's now running the agency or not. Sometimes you got the right guy and you say, okay, we're going to give you 90 days. Or I don't know.
Yeah, he's the interim chief right now. So to that extent, he's the interim chief. They're doing national, which is not unusual in many jurisdictions.
No.
Most jurisdictions nowadays, they do a national search. Now, they may appoint someone that's internal, and that could very well happen here. So I don't want to exclude that. Just because we're doing a national search doesn't necessarily mean that there's someone that's an internal candidate. Because the other part about it is sometimes people don't apply.
Yeah.
So our buddy Chris from Hagerstown says you should hire within. He's from Jackson, aviation, great guy. Watches the program a lot. So the national search, you like that idea. You don't think that we should just look locally for a superstar to come up then?
Well, I think. Let me say this. We just our current command staff, our interim police chief, he just became captain.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying he's not qualified. I don't know his level of interest.
You're talking about the interim guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's his name? I don't know his name.
Kevin Meyer.
Okay.
I don't know his level of interest, so I can't speak for.
Okay. And he may not be interested.
Yeah,
You're right.
I can't speak for him.
Right.
Or the other captain. I can't speak to say whether or not they're interested in being a police chief, because we all know that there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that.
Yeah.
Right. It's a different job.
It's a different job. It's also a community facing job position. So I can't speak if they're not. So we'll see in terms of what comes or who's put forward or who applies for this position.
Well, hopefully people that are within the agency have an opportunity. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I think the other part about it is I think sometimes they don't apply for whatever reason.
That's true too.
Once and sometimes it's hard. And I'm not saying that's not the case in terms of we don't need to hire within. So let me say that. So to the person who said on the chat we should hire from within, sometimes in an entity, sometimes when you come through the ranks, it's hard for you also to now lead the persons who know you came through the ranks with you.
They know all the warts and scabs and the bumps and bruises and.
Yeah, you're trying to lead your friends.
Yeah.
Your colleagues.
And sometimes
prime example, Harold Domer. He should have been, but he was the disciplinarian under.
He was the chief for a minute.
Twice.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. Yeah. Yep. I tell you one thing, what I'd like to see in the next chief of police, I wasn't a big fan of him at the time, but now when I look back, I mean, Kim Dine was everywhere.
he did a great
Kim
job.
Dine was everywhere. You saw him on the creek. You saw him on that Segway. I mean, you still see him everywhere
He
today.
still is. Yeah.
He was out there, and maybe I wasn't at the right place, but I just never saw this chief that much.
Well, Chief Lando, he was out.
I'm not saying he wasn't. He just
Yeah.
wasn't out.
But I think to the point is that Chief Don became the standard.
Yes.
He became the standard. That was the expectation and the standard for city police chief was to be that visible, that accessible, and I think part of that was his personality. But he understood when we look at this notion of what we call community policing. I always say, what is policing? That is about a community. But that was the standard, and so everybody was measured against that.
Yep.
Chief Lando, a little different personality, but he was visible, accessible. He did some great things, but I think Chief Don became the standard here for policing, and as we know, such as you mentioned, because of his visibility and accessibility that he displayed for our city.
So we got about another 13 minutes to go.
We do have that clip, Blaine. You may play it for you?
Oh, yeah, play that clip. This is good. By the way, you're tuning into The Last of Good Old Boys with Blaine Young, Billy Shreves here, Randy G. Our guest is third-term city councilman Derek the Shackleford. Play that clip.
Chief Pamela Smith pulled no punches today as she left police headquarters for the final time. In a 13-minute speech in front of the mayor, her mother, and the command staff, Chief Smith passionately defended the job she did and called out the people who questioned her integrity. Smith is leaving the job under a cloud of suspicion after two highly critical reports from Congress and the Department of Justice. News 4's Paul Wagner has our story.
Look, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear him.
Since her retirement announcement 2 weeks ago, Chief Pamela Smith stayed silent as two reports from the House Oversight Committee
Randy,
and the
they ever go
Justice
play the clip?
Department claimed
Yeah, let me see
Smith
if I-
created
yeah,
a toxic
that was good. Did you see when you was
culture
up
within
at
the
the
DC Police
podium?
Department,
That's what I
in
wanted.
which commanders said
She
they
was
felt
she was
pressured
lighting them up.
and even
Yeah, let me see. I
instructed
thought that was
lower
it.
crime
Oh, no, I
classifications.
think you're playing some trickery.
Today, on her last day in
All right,
office,
let me
Chief
get
Smith
ready.
There you go.
fired back.
That's all right.
Let's be really
Here you
clear
go.
about
Hold
one
on.
thing. Never will I ever compromise my integrity for a few crime numbers.
Chief Smith was just getting started.
Nah, you gotta
Never
listen. When I sent you,
would I compromise.
Was that it?
nah.
Was it? They're playing that, Randy?
What's that?
Oh, you got to play the clip.
You got
There's a better clip in which she.
I probably can send it to you.
Yeah, well, you send it to me. We'll play it.
Yeah. So, Derek, what do you want to see in a new police chief for Frederick?
I think of course, one who has a great relationship with our public, or who's able to develop that relationship with our public. Great public interfacing. Of course, integrity, great character, knowledge.
Let's be
of-
really clear about one
policing
thing.
methods, and particularly where we're heading in the future. Policing is a rather challenging job.
Absolutely.
And so, I think it goes without saying, someone who of course, I'm sure, but one who takes that responsibility seriously. But for me, I think just someone who has a great public interface, who's able to relate to the public, accessible, of course, visibility, one who's able to work well with our community, various aspects of our community. Our community is so diverse, but one who's able to work well in those various spaces and places.
We're gonna have that. Well, we getting a data center or what? I'm off the chief. I want to about the data center. We getting these data centers.
Hey, well, you need to go to the county.
What do you mean? County, yeah, up there now. Vote will be 5-2. Anybody want to take over and under?
No one.
5-4, 2
Hey, wait a minute.
against.
There's
5-4,
one
2
coming.
against.
There's
Jerry
one coming
Donnell
to the city.
against and
Steve McKay.
Steve. I'm against everything McKay.
Well, here's the question. Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
The question that is there going to be an overlay, or is this going to be as is in terms of just the
Overlay.
Oh, it's going to be overlay.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh wow, so they're going to expand it, huh?
My guess. I'm not in the know. I'm just
What's
guessing.
the repercussions for the 2026 election?
Everyone will forget it by then.
Those 5 that vote for it will lose Adamstown. Adams, right? That's where it is. Is it Adamsville or town? I've been out of the system a while. Adamstown. They ain't getting any votes up in Adamstown. But I don't think the thing about it is what changes the dynamic when you have districts and wards is certain people can make a vote and it doesn't affect the people they represent.
That's true.
Same thing. You got 2 at large. Do you think if Mason Carter votes yes tonight, that's going to affect anybody that votes for him in that Thurmont?
Here
You
you
know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Same
There
with
you
some
go.
of the
That's
other
Jerry
candidates.
Donald's district, and Donald's termed out, so he won't even be running there.
Well, because he's running for delegate.
Run for delegate.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he don't. He needs. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, what are you going to do? You don't want houses. You don't want heavy industrial. But teachers want raises. You want more of them. You want where are you going to get them? You need more taxpayers. And I mean, it's as long as you put the requirements and the safety measures in place.
Well, I think the problem with data centers is, one of the issues with data centers is they haven't been studied long enough. I think so. If you look at, let's look at
Those gigantic ones, but we've had one in Frederick County for a long time down there in Urbana.
Yeah. This is true. But I think the more, of course, the more they expand, and then you start looking at the environmental aspects of it. You start working at electricity and the water. Have they been studied out? Have they been studied fully? What's the repercussions of that? You get the tax dollars, of course, and which is kind of interesting. And I say this from the standpoint of
200 million, isn't it?
Well, we all know this. We all know this.
All in.
Sometimes I'll say this. Sometimes, of course, and I'm an elected official, the government wants more money to do what? And I say that because we're all old enough to remember that the lottery was going to take care of education.
Oh yeah,
Right. That didn't happen.
And
They
seniors.
sold us on that one.
And
dude.
now look where we are. We gambling is all across our state.
Sure.
Right. And we still got
And
problems.
we still got educational shortfalls
Absolutely.
and
Yeah, big
things
time.
like that. So sometimes it's like, we get more money in the short term, but in the longer term, then we misappropriate it, or the needs or priorities change. All these things occur, and so I think, data centers in the from the aspect what the county may say is in the short term we receive all these dollars, particularly for education, because that's kind of the big topic. I won't say the big topic, but that's where maybe the plan is going to go. Everyone always says that education is so important, and it is. And so that's an opportunity for those dollars to go there, and then what happens?
Are we going to get a data center in the city, you think? Yes or no?
I don't know.
All right. You ain't saying.
Would you vote for it?
Huh?
Would you vote?
What?
At this, I can't say. I say that because it hasn't came before us, so
Right.
I can't say. And then y'all know this. If it then becomes how it formulates, you don't want to.
Well, there's a lot of
too much to the
factors.
factors.
Where
You gotta know
is
all the
it?
details.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now that don't mean that, and so for full disclosure, that don't mean I'm for it. So I don't want nobody jumping. I was on the good old boys. He didn't say anything, so he said he's for it. The next thing you know, there's letters to the editor and everywhere else going out.
but it's gonna be an issue that you guys have to deal with,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
So let's talk about this
This isn't
vacant.
going away.
Let's talk about this vacant property down the street.
Oh,
Last time, I went there when it was a rainbow.
We go
Rainbow
way
Room.
back. That's 91. Bro.
Oh, you remember that? Paul Gordon pulled them buses up with curfew, and we all ran out the back.
Oh yeah, not all of us. I got caught up in that thanks to your dad. Dude. Thanks to your dad.
Randy,
Not my dad. That was Paul Gordon.
That was 91, 92, 93.
My dad left in 89.
Randy.
Randy, you always got caught.
You were short. What were you doing down there, Randy, anyway?
I was with my sister.
Yeah, the rainbow.
Wow, the truth comes out.
Don't blame it.
But they had it was what was it called? Underage.
Underage, yeah.
Yeah, they used to
Lord
have it
Ringers.
over at Players too on Sunday.
Tully's.
Tully's.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? I mean, it looks like back to the. I mean, look, the best thing you all can do is hire me. Let me get Big Gus and Big Melvin. Let me go down there and take care of that property because it seems like we can't get no movement in the court system.
You know what's interesting about the judge's decision in terms of that, and here's you know this, both you two know this, particularly from serving your respective seats. Is you hear the public do this. Okay, we did it, and now the judicial system said otherwise.
Yeah,
and it's
you
like
can't do it.
for that longer period of time that property's been unavailable.
Blighted.
Yeah,
Shaq,
Well-
Chris Jackson says, tell your mom Jackson said hello, Merry Christmas. He's from Hagerstown. I don't know if you know him.
That's got to be Action Jackson.
Chris Jackson. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah, I sure will.
Yeah, he's a super. I love that guy. He's a super sweet guy.
But here's the thing. It's a very good constitutional question. Are you allowed to buy a property and allow it to fall down as long as it's not causing public harm? And what I mean, it can be a public nuisance. In other words, no one likes boards up. But as long as it's meeting the health, safety, and welfare of its area,
Well, then, and the other part about it
Do
is,
whatever you want
I
with
mean,
it.
someone can buy a house and say, I'm going to let it empty.
and the other part about it is similar to that property is there's a constitutional right of whether you can go into it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's bringing down the property value of everybody else. It's hurting the downtown commerce because nobody likes that. And Frederick is such a beautiful city to walk. We've got people coming from all over the world and to see boarded up places. I mean, I can see both sides because that is an eyesore for sure.
Well, the judge seen the other side.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
She seen the other side.
Right. The judge didn't see it that way.
It's been a long time. All I know is if that joint was sitting up on Rockwell Terrace, it wouldn't be sitting there that long. There'd be some movement.
Take care of it.
Second or third street, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been there for a long time, but it's a hard constitutional question about whether or not someone has the right to buy property and do nothing with
What
it.
do you think, Blaine?
They do.
I think they do.
Yeah.
The question is, you have to attack it from a different angle.
Yeah, but you couldn't
And
do
I
that
don't
with
have
your
your-
house.
huh?
The HOA would be all in your ass.
No.
the
As long as
HOA
the grass is mowed, I mean, you got to remember, as long as the basic requirements are met.
And even
can't
when it
do
comes to HOA property, one of the differences with that, Randy, is people don't have the legal representation in
Yeah.
terms of to go through that. How much you gonna
How much you gonna spend?
how much you gonna spend? I mean, in this case, they've got someone. I mean, they've got long money.
Do you know
Yeah,
why?
they've got some money behind them, and they're not going to let the city just run over them.
So do you know, in a permits and codes point of view, do you know why that most cities don't allow fences over 3 feet in your backyard?
Wow, Blaine.
Because especially in county, if you put up a 6-foot fence, an inspector is not allowed
Okay.
to look over that
Yeah,
fence.
that's right.
If it's a natural viewscape
viewscape.
and they see something that's wrong, they can do something about it. Now, only places you really see 6-foot fences in the city is people have pools and things of that nature. But I mean,
Townhouses, privacy.
like what I'm trying to say is you're exactly right. It's very hard constitutionally to find out how to get inside the property where the violations probably are, but you can't cite it if you're not allowed in it.
Well, why don't they just approach it from something different? I don't know if you guys have tried this in the city or not, but just to offer them some money to pay to make it look better from the outside.
They don't want that.
They don't want anything.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to use the word slumlord. I mean, that's
Right.
for someone to just to let.
Well,
the
it's a slum.
property-
It's a slum without tenants.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just let the property just go and like it is in terms of just underutilized, underdeveloped, in bad shape, and then you're going to fight to keep it that way. Similar, what you're saying is, does a state, a government entity, have the right to take someone's property?
I mean,
they do that all the
eminent
time.
domain,
They
but it's
do
got to
not
have.
for
There's
the
got to be.
But it's got to be uses in terms of a right of way or something like that.
Usually, it's health,
Yeah.
safety, and public health, safety, and welfare. But real quick, Frederick Keys, $39 million improvements going on out there. Going to be pretty amazing, isn't it?
Stadium Authority gives that money.
Yep. No, I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, they released about 200 million, and Frederick got 39 of it.
Well, I think it's great because, as we all know, the Keys are a great draw. Previously, before baseball had their contrition before COVID, there was a lot of interest in that area because it was going to be, there were some plans for some mixed use, not just the baseball, but also some business, also some housing, some residential. So there was and this I think this probably puts that back in play because of just the amount of commitment that the Orioles are making as well.
You know, there's a lot of people lost an election over that one.
I drove by today on my way to Starvin' Marvin's over there.
When the Keys came to town, well, first it was
yeah.
going to be the Pilots, and then the Keys came in. What was the deciding vote then was Alderman John Krasick because it was an Orioles affiliate, and he played in the Orioles.
He was a minor league player.
Yep, but the Seventh-day Adventist Church was out there, and then putting it beside the cemetery, there was I mean, that was not an easy vote. It was a 3-2 vote, and it was a big election issue. So. But you got.
What did Randy just say? Randy said,
I was just drove by that today. I was just going
Starvin'
over to Starvin'
Marvin's.
Marvin's.
Eat pizza.
closing, right?
Yeah, I can't. Why it's so crazy?
Got to get out there, man.
How many years? How long you been going there, Randy?
Years. I love that place.
So you buying it?
Oh, it's Starvin' Randy.
Yeah, you would be starving. I'm not a good cook.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
So anything else stewing and brewing in the city before we say goodnight?
No, I mean, we got a lot coming this year. We have 5 new council people, 5 new council members. So it's been interesting. There's a learning curve, as we all know.
I'm sorry you didn't get the presidency. I thought you should have gotten it, but there was a lot of backdoor politics played.
I appreciate that, Blaine. And we'll remain to see. I think my experience serves its purpose, and we'll see. I can still lead in a number of other areas, and I was disappointed I did not receive the president of city council. I thought I had great public support.
Yep.
So
You did.
So does that come
Well,
up
wait a
for
second.
vote
Let
again?
me talk about the News Post did an editorial. I don't know if you read it, Randy or Billy. And they're glad everybody's working together. Do you know the definition of a compromise candidate, Randy or Billy?
No.
A compromise candidate is when someone says, if I can't get it, I'm going to make sure you can't get it. That's what the compromise candidate was. If I can't have it, you ain't getting it either. And that's what kind of went down, in my opinion, from what I heard. So hopefully, though, that all that blood is in the rearview mirror, if there is any bad feelings or whatnot, and you can move forward. So you do have 7 members instead of 5. And I think you're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to new chief of police, new format of government.
We got some zoning planning decisions that are going to be crucial coming up. We got a budget coming up. We got a lot of work to do.
How's the budget looking in the city?
This year?
Yeah.
Good question.
Okay.
We'll start some of that conversation into this month, into January. Billy, then of course the mayor's will present his proposed budget, and then of course we'll present our priorities, and so we'll kind of go from there. I think, we talk about taxes, of course, and in our city. We also talk about which we're spending, but revenue also in terms of our development. So all these conversations and all these decisions that we got to make within this year are going to be very important. How we navigate our future.
Real decisions.
Yeah, for real. I mean, and similar, and we all know there are every decision that we make has some type of influence on our community, city. But these are going to be some rather big decisions that we're going to make that are going to influence our city's future for the foreseeable future, but also impact them in a great way. So we'll see. I'm excited about it because I like being in this seat to make these decisions.
Yeah,
that's why you're elected.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Derek, I want to thank you for coming to the show. Hopefully you stop by in the future. Hopefully it was able for people to get. What we want to do is people to get a little bit about who you are, where you came from, some of your background, your interest, all that good stuff. So I appreciate you putting up with us tonight. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. 2026 is going to be a good year.
Going to be good.
And for Randy G and Billy Shreve, I'm Blaine Young. This is the last of Good Old Boy, episode 4 with City Councilman Derek Shackleford. Next week, our guest will be Jason Keckler, another Walkersville person. He's running for office. He served our community as City of Frederick Police Force We can ask him about them text messages too. Right, we're gonna ask him about them. Ask
Yeah,
You
him.
know,
Shaq's like, ask him.
Get on the inside.
So for everybody, have a good Christmas, Billy. Have a good Christmas, Randy. Happy New Year. We'll see you next week
Next
Tuesday at 6:00 right here. Studio 401 North Market Street, right here in the city of Frederick. The last of the good old boys. Good night.